This is the story of how one shot kills the town. So if you haven't seen The Town, it's very much like Heat and Point Break and The Dark Knight. But there's one thing that it's got going for it, and that's the relationship between Ben Affleck and Rebecca Hall's characters. At the start, Ben puts on a scary mask and robs Rebecca's bank. She's traumatized by this experience, but she and Ben meet and fall in love without her realizing who he is and what he did to her. So that's the setup, and it gives the film an interesting narrative thrust as Ben is drawn into a downward circle of crime while falling in love with his victim. It's all pretty believable until something happens that meant I could not take the film seriously. I should point out that this video includes spoilers for both The Town and Heat. So Ben's big bank job has gone balls up. He's a wanted man, he's on the run, and he's calling Rebecca to tell her he wants to see her.
I want to meet you. It's got to be soon. I don't have a lot of time.
But she's at her apartment with the FBI, who want to lure him in so they can arrest him. So Ben Affleck looks through his binoculars just in case the audience didn't realise he's looking at something.
You want me to come where you are now?
And this is where it gets really dumb.
I don't think that's a good idea for me.
Why?
What if there are police there?
There's no one here.
Can you see the problem? There's obviously police there. I mean, look at them. They're literally aligned with those nice, big, clean windows. And it's like they're having a party. And Ben just kind of plays along. Let's compare this to a similar scene in Heat. And when I say similar, I mean basically identical. Just like The Town, Val Kilmer has been involved in a heist that's gone wrong. And he's going to see his wife, played by Ashley Judd, at their apartment. First up, there's just one cop there, and unlike the FBI agents in The Town, this one understands how walls can, block the passage of light. Ashley lets Val know he's being set up with one subtle hand signal, and he leaves. This is an absolutely killer scene in Heat because it plays out almost in silence, but you understand what's happening, and it's devastating. Val Kilmer knows that his relationship is over, and his life is on the line. Maybe Ben Affleck watched this, realised he couldn't beat it, and just kind of gave up. And you can go back to Akira Kurosawa's crime drama High and Low from 1964. In this film, the police make an almost comical point of staying out of sight because they know the bad guys could be watching the apartment. By following procedure like this, you're immersed in this world. And it's pretty fundamental that if you're the police and you're trying to catch a criminal, you don't want them to know you're there. I get exactly what this scene is saying, and it's such an important decision in the movie. Can she forgive him for traumatizing her in the first scene, or will she pursue justice? Just like Heat, it comes down to a subtle signal.
It'll be just like one of my sunny days.
She referenced this earlier in the movie as reminding her of when her brother died, which lets Ben Affleck know that it's a trap, which would be a hugely powerful moment if he hadn't already seen those thousands of very obvious FBI agents through his binoculars. His binoculars. I'm so sorry. So there are a few different cuts of The Town, and this scene doesn't appear in the original script. So my guess is that it was shot and added late in the day, maybe after test screenings. The decision to include the FBI in this shot probably came from the right place, to quickly show rather than tell that the FBI were there. But it's totally unnecessary. Imagine if the FBI had hidden themselves and the audience knew this but Ben didn't, and you would suddenly have so much more suspense in this scene. Or what if Ben had called from somewhere else and hadn't not looked through his binoculars? It's super annoying because it's the perfect note to end the film on. Ben gets away, but he loses the girl. He doesn't die, which is how the majority of these movies end. I do think Ben Affleck is an interesting director. Both The Town and Gone Baby Gone shine a light on a part of America that hasn't really been seen on screen before. And he knows how to populate this world with interesting and morally ambiguous characters. It's just a shame that he doesn't understand how eyeballs work.